why you should use a mesh network in your live stream setup. I need you to know, my wife and my daughter are cleaning my daughter's room just the other side of that wall. If you hear the sound of crying, if you hear tears, weeping, gnashing of teeth, you'll understand the two of them are cleaning my daughter's room just the other side of that wall. I thought this is a great time for me to get out of there and come record a video. The reason I believe you should use a mesh network for your live streaming network, not your mobile network necessarily. Now, I do know some folks who set up a mesh network at mobile sites. If they have the time to go in and put their mesh network hubs in different places around where they're going to be streaming, it's a great addition to the reliability of their stream. For example, I could set up a mesh network at the football field where I stream. I don't see my school's network being near reliable enough to be able to stream from. But if I were to run my own network, set up 2 or 3 different mesh network hubs, it would work very, very well. I feed good, reliable internet into a router, and to repeat that up and down the sideline would give me the ability to put cameras as often as I want to. I could put 4 or 5 or 6 cameras along the sideline if I wanted to and catch all my different shots going up the field and be close enough, have a good quality picture. But it would require a repeated signal, a mesh network. The reason I think we should be running a mesh network in our indoor live streams is because it's going to give us the ability to control cameras in any place inside the building. The ability to set your cameras up in various rooms around your church is going to be something that's going to add to, especially if you're in one of those places that's going to be hosting a conference or that's going to be wanting to stream several different rooms. When I set up my mesh network at my church, my office is here. The router that brings internet into the building is in our administrator's office next to mine. From that router, we hardwire a mesh network hub in my office, a mesh network hub in this room, a mesh network hub in this closet, a mesh network hub in this room, and a mesh network hub in the sound booth here. So I'm covering all of this space. This auditorium is about 3,200 square feet. This fellowship hall and supporting area is about 3,000 square feet. So you're talking about a decent size footprint for a mesh network with 4 hubs to be able to service. I set up a Mevo camera in this room. I set up a Mevo camera here in the auditorium. I set up a Mevo camera in this room, and I set up a Mevo camera in the middle of this room. And to have those 4 cameras on. Now, I know I can't stream all 4 of them at the same time unless I do some serious picture-in-picture, but it does allow me the option of being able to stream from a centralized location. If I want to run everything through my sound booth computer right here, it's going to let me do so. So for live streaming, a mesh network works really well. Just for everyday use, a mesh network is better than having 2 or 3 wireless routers. I have worked in a facility where internet came into the office and there was a wireless router there. A hard wire went out about halfway down the building for another router that had wireless capabilities, but it was hardwired to broadcast a wireless signal for that part of the building. From there, another hardwired line went to another router in a different part of the building, and it set up a wireless network for that area. You could get internet anywhere you went in the building. There was about 28,000 square foot under roof in that particular building, and you had wireless internet wherever you went. But when you left the office and you went to the auditorium, you had to change networks. You had to physically change networks. Your device would try to hang on to the network in the office, but it was a weak signal. It wouldn't automatically jump to the stronger signal. because it was a different network. A mesh network solves that problem by having one network identifying as one network, no matter which hub you're on. So your device will connect to the strongest signal. It's a great tool. Obviously, this is an indoor solution. Outdoors, you'll have to set up and take down. And for most off-the-shelf installations, it's not going to be waterproof. So you're talking about set up before the event and take down after the event, which is a lot of work. But if it's a big event, it's probably worth it for you. Mesh networks for live streaming is going to greatly increase the reliability at distance for us to be able to live stream. If you're in a rather large room, even just one room, and there's a lot of people in that room, just the difficulty in getting line of sight is something that bears an extra access point, so that whether you're on this end of the room or the far end of the room, you're going to have good, strong wireless access